Happy Monday, everybody. Today we're going to do modeling multiplying rational numbers, followed by dividing tomorrow, which is kind of fun. Okay, so we're going to start. There are more rules for multiplying and dividing. As you learned in the first module, multiplying integers that have the same signs always resulted in a positive answer. We did not discuss what happens with different signs, but we are going to discuss that now. So there are these little tables that you can use to remember, but it's really not even necessary. If you multiply different signs, your answer is always going to be negative, and if you multiply with the same signs, it's always positive. Now, some students confuse these rules with the same signs add and keep and the different signs subtract rules, so be careful. When it comes to multiplying, same signs are always positive no matter what, and different signs are always negative no matter what. And this is for 2 at a time, okay? 2 numbers at a time. We're not talking about a whole list of numbers. Okay, so this is what you really want to remember. So what we're showing in these tables is that if you have one positive and one negative, your answer is negative. If you have a negative and a positive, your answer is negative. And then, of course, positive times a positive is positive, and negative times a negative is a positive. And this is the short and sweet version. Same signs are positive, different signs are negative. That's what you want to remember, okay? So we're going to actually model this. So just like we originally did with the integers in Module 1. So for the Explore activity, we're going to look at the number line to find 6 times negative 1/3. So as we did last time, we knew that we were going to take our negative 1/3 and we were going to do that 6 times. So 6 times negative 1/3 means that we're adding negative 1/3 6 times. So that's negative 1/3 plus negative 1/3 plus negative 1/3, and so on until we get 6 of them. Okay, looking at our number line, we want to notice that each unit on the number line is a third already. So we're going to start at 0 and we're going to move 1 unit to the left 6 times, just like we did it with integers, except this time it's with fractional pieces. Starting at 0, we're going to move 1/3 to the left 6 times. So 1/3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We land on negative 2. Okay, and then you can use the rules to check. You have a positive times a negative. Different signs will be negative. Okay? Now, just to show you that you don't need the number line, 6 times negative 1/3, all you need to know are these rules because you already know how to multiply this. So 6 times a third, you would just use Miss Morano's simplifying trick. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Because positive, negative. Okay, and that's the easier way to get your answer. Okay? Now let's take a look how to do this with a decimal. So we're going to do 4 times 2.5, which means we're going to move 2.5 to the right 4 times. Okay, so we're going to start at 0, and we're going to move 2.5 units to the right 4 times. Okay, so let's take a look here. We're at 0, and we're going to move 2.5. So that's 1.5. That's 1, right? 1.5, 2. Oh, I'm doing 1.5 instead of 2.5. Sorry, hold on a second. Sorry. 2.5, so 1, 2.5, right? Okay, now let's move the half, and then let's move 2. Okay, so that's 2 times. Now, 1, 2.5, that's 3. Let's move the half, and 1, 2 is 4. We land on 10. So 4 times 2.5 is 10. Okay, and of course you can verify that. Same signs is going to be positive, right? So if we change this to a negative 4 times negative 2.5 instead of positive, it's still going to be positive 10. Because a negative times a negative, same signs are positive, will be positive. Okay? So let's skip over the your turn is not on here today. It's on the back. Okay. We're going to do the guided practice together, and then you guys will do your turn. So, -3 times -4. Okay? Same signs when you multiply are always going to be positive. Okay? And I'm just going to show you before I do this whole process how easy it is. -3 times -4, I know it's going to be positive, and I know that 3 times 4 is 12. So your answer is going to be 12. Okay, so let's prove it. And of course you can do that here. 3 times 4 here is 12. So let's take a look. We're starting at 0, and we're moving -4 3 times to the left. So not to the left, sorry, where are we going? To the right. Okay, so here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we land on 12. Okay? And now let's take a look at 8 times -0.5. So we're going to move -0.5 8 times. So we're moving to the left 0.5 8 times. But just to show you, I have different signs. So I know my answer is going to be negative. And I can do 0.5 times 8 all on my own. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 4. 1 decimal point. Okay? So, and it's negative. I know my answer is going to be -4. So let's take a look at the number line to show it. Starting at 0, we're moving 0.5 8 times, right? So a half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And sure enough, I landed on my -4. Okay? So I wanted to show you the multiplication rules for this because it's just so easy, and it really is simpler than using the number line sometimes. I found last year when I did this with the 7th graders now, the number line really confused them. So if I wanted to make sure I show you both ways, if the number line is really helpful to you, then don't stop using it. But if you find that just using the rules are easier, then please go ahead. So for your turn, let's pause and you guys try these two. You can use a number line, but I also would like you to at least give the rules a shot. Okay? Okay, guys. So to finish up, for number 2, you should get -4.5. So I did it both ways. I moved 1.5 3 times to the left. You could also move 3, not 1.5 times. You can move, I like to do it by 1 and then moving the half and then moving the half first so that I have a whole number to move again, but it's really up to you. If you guys can count by halves, whatever you want to do. Anyway, I also showed it using the rules. So doing 1.5 times 3. I know these are different signs, so my answer is going to be negative. So it's -4.5 when I multiply. Over here, same thing. This one was a little easier to move because they're all by halves. Moving 1/2 5 times to the left. So it's 1/2, 2, 3, 4, 5. You land on -2.5. Using the rules, I know I have different signs, so my answer is going to be negative. So there's no simplifying I can do here, so I just do -5 times 1. Remember, this is just like that. It's over 1. -5 over 2, which is -2.5. Okay? And that's it. So remember, what you really need to remember from this lesson is right here. Same signs will be positive, different signs will be negative. Because you already know how to multiply fractions and decimals. Okay? All right, guys, have fun.